The Black Ice Chronicles Massive. This is Crazy D. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about the Minstrel Show. You know, we've been talking about the white code and what I like to call the code of ethics as a black person fighting white supremacy racism. But today I'm going to talk about the Minstrel Show. It began in the 19th century, around 1826, and it mainly consisted of a white man painting his face black with burnt cork. He would paint his face black, and then he would do song and dance numbers, skits, acting like the stereotypical of what they put together to be what they believed a black person to be like. You know, stereotypical bullshit. So this shit started in 1826 and went all the way through into the 1950s. Now, you know, some people believe that it has really never ended, especially when you see videos coming from Japan and China, and them motherfuckers over there putting on blackface. The Bubble Girls, remember that shit? They was gonna bring the Bubble Girls over. Russell Simmons was gonna bring the Bubble Girls over to put them on the label. They were gonna be doing hip hop and blackface. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. You know, a whole nother story to begin with. But anyway, so this has been going on it had been going on for over 100 years in America, including producing Black Dolls, the Black Sambo, the Minstrel. It is a degrading characterization of who black people are, right? So I'll say that. So it's a degrading, again, let me say it again so that it's clear. It is a degrading representation / depiction of who black people are. Black people have never been what they depicted. However, around the 20th century, probably the late 18th century, late 19th century into the 20th century, especially around 1911 or so, black performers began to dress in blackface also to be able to perform and make money, because that was the Minstrel Show, was one of the only ways for them to make money. So they would go on ahead and put on the blackface and do song and dance numbers. And when you do the research, you find out that like Amos and Andy came from that, and later Amos and Andy became a television show. However, the actors who depicted Amos and Andy in the 1950s, they didn't no longer wear blackface, but however, they did try to incorporate that their characters had intelligence by working out complex math problems around a long way, let's say around the bush, but they worked those problems out, and those math problems would be correct. Or they would work out situations and come with solutions that were intelligent. So I'll say that they tried to put that into the script. However, so there's the Minstrel Show again. There's the white man who put on blackface and paraded around and danced, did skits, did dance routines, and spoke as an uneducated, all that bullshit. And then there were the black performers who, due to having no other choice, put on blackface. Early 1900s all the way up, again, like I said, into the 1950s, when, you know, we were making strides. They were always making progress, but never really grabbing the brass ring, so to speak. Okay. So knowing that history and knowing the detriment of that history, I asked the question, why would anyone want to be a minstrel today, 2016, we're in the 21st century? And what do I mean by minstrels today? I equate the minstrel show to the Oreo cookie. Originally white underneath with a black coating on top. So then I extrapolate and I expand the thought process to say, why would people want to be minstrels today? Why? I will tell you the situation. I have no answer to why people would want to be minstrels today, but I am tired of minstrels. I'm tired of minstrel acts. I'm tired of the minstrel show. You know, minstrels, they are black on the outside, but they want to be so white that their mentality is white supremacist racism on the inside. So they are an Oreo cookie. Now we're speaking on black folks who would still want to be minstrels today. Again, they are black on the outside like the Oreo cookie, but their mentality and their mind is one of wanting to be white supremacist and racist towards their own people who manifest in their same race. And again, I am tired of the minstrel show. Why am I tired? The minstrel will see that a person who is not a minstrel is putting on a function, and they will go to their great minstrel benefactors who are most likely white supremacist or racist, and they will get funding to put on a function on the same day as that person who is black and independent from being a minstrel or having a benefactor who practices racism, white supremacy. A minstrel will be happy with being just on the set. You know, the white supremacist, in my opinion, the white supremacist or the racist knows that black people are the engine that runs, baby. It's the rhythm, it's the funk of it. And they know that that's what makes this whole globe turn around, revolve on its axis, is the ability of black people to be talented, to be creative, to bring the funk, to bring the soul. So they will have black people in the background, but never bring them to the front. Then someone who comes along who is conscious of what's going on, and they bring black people in the forefront, then all of a sudden the same people who were white supremacist racist will then all of a sudden begin to bring them to the front. But why would someone want to be a minstrel? Why would someone work against their own best interest and work alongside people who they know are no good for them. Why would they do that? There's no answer to why, but let's continue on the minstrel. The minstrel believes that the white man's ice is colder. The white man's money is greener. But here's the trick that the minstrel doesn't realize. While they are doing everything to sabotage black independent, black mentality, black empowerment, while they do everything as a black minstrel to undercut a black independent, what they don't realize is the white supremacist and racist isn't interested in how well you can speak, how well you can dress, how much you talk like them, act like them, walk like them. And we spoke before during my thoughts on the white code about how in many cases black people are more credentialed, more degreed than those who practice white supremacy. So here's the trick that most minstrels don't understand. The white supremacists aren't interested in having a multicultural society. They're interested in making sure that they produce images that help to destroy black people. They are interested in making sure that black people feel inferior, and they love taking those backseat jobs. They are interested in black people not being self-sustaining and not working together to achieve a goal of independence, because they want to be able to justify wiping out black people. Why? Because they are interested only in an all-white America. That's right. Now, if you don't believe what I'm saying to you, I've put in a link. It's a piece from Rachel Maddow on MSNBC where, it was a secret meeting. They said, find this guy in a brown suit with a flower on his lapel, and then we'll take you to this secret location. Because originally it was supposed to be at the DC Press Club, but then it didn't happen. DC Press Club thought it was too hot, so then they had to find a new place. At first it was canceled, but then they found another location, so it was all cloak and dagger type shit. And then they said, find this person. So they sat in there. All the different white supremacist organizations were represented, and they sat up there and said, we do not want people to be confused about what we want. We want an all-white America. That's what they want. So I'll put that link down there so you'll understand. So it's just like when the Nazis, excuse me, let me be clear. They were in Germany, but they were Nazis. When the Nazis were exterminating Jewish people, they had the minstrels, not in blackface, but the entertainers. I'm just going to call all entertainers at that, because that's what they were acting like. They were acting like they wanted to be like Germans, so they then became the entertainers and thought that they would be spared. They used the minstrels to perform. Now, these are fellow Jewish people, women and men, fellow Jewish people who were playing music while their fellow Jewish people were being exterminated. They were minstrels trying to put on the face of the Nazis and thinking they would be spared. They were the last to go, but they gassed them too. So this is my point. Why do minstrels want to be minstrels in 2016? We're in the 21st century. The answer to that is more of a rhetorical, it's more of a rhetorical question. And the answer is why. It doesn't make sense why they would want to do it. If you know history, you don't want to do it because you realize that if you don't stick together, they will win, and this will be an all-white America. And that goes on to all the different nationalities. I spoke on the nationalities who, the other groups who they call minorities who come to this country. We're being duped by the 13th Amendment and still being enslaved. We're being neglected and being kept from using the 14th Amendment, which made us a protected class. And the minorities that come here from different countries, they then want to pick up and be white supremacists and racist towards black people, again saying, well, it only took us a generation, how come you can't do it, right? But the white folks who are racist, who are white supremacists, show them, especially after the 2001 and the World Trade Center, they showed them that you're not white, and as soon as we use you as a buffer, because if you know history, they used the blacks as a buffer with the Native Americans in between Manhattan. But then at the same time, Native Americans held slaves. See this? So each one was used as a buffer against the other. So in the long-term scheme of things, you get rid of the blacks, they'll get the Latinos next, they'll go through the groups. Then you realize that Jewish people are not actually considered white. There was a law passed to make them quote-unquote white. So then they will get them. So why are black people at this point trying to be minstrels in 2016? Second part to that rhetorical question is it's reverse minstrel, meaning they want to have on the white face. And so that's where we're going to leave it right there. So put it all together, read the link, learn why it's not great to be a minstrel in 2016 and think that the white man's ice is colder, the white man's money is greener. It's not, because the white supremacist is still going to tell you that you just don't cut it because you're not white. So that's it. Put it all together, the Black Ice Chronicles.